think it's time we went on another adventure. This time we're going to go to the northeast of England, not far from Scotland, but still in England. So let's go. Hey everyone, my name's Sam, aka Sequin Girly, and we have gone on another adventure. If you haven't seen, I'll put a playlist here of some of the other adventures I've been on. We've been into mainland Europe, we've gone to other parts of the UK, and this time we've gone to the northeast of England. So I've headed up north. I'm a southern girly, and so it was time to head somewhere I've not been. I have been to the north of England before, but not spent a lot of time here. I've been to Harrogate once. So we started with a day trip to York. I don't understand how I've got to nearly half a century old and have never been to York. It was as I hoped it would be. It was one of those lovely sort of historic, medieval, university type cities, and the shambles are exactly what I hoped they would be. There is some great shops. It was a great place to go when you're looking, as I am in September, October, for little Christmassy bits, that sort of things. I've always got that in my mind at this time of year. There was a fabric shop, so hello to Linda, who owns Socialising. I popped in there. Shock horror, dear reader, I was pretty restrained. I bought some gifts for others, but no fabric or anything for myself. And there wasn't nice things in there, because there was some lovely fabric, some really nice wool. I'm pleased to say that that's not yet something I am taking too intense and interesting, because if I do, that's it, then I would have been tempted by the wool. She had a good selection of little bits for if you were buying presents for others, so that was perfect for me, because that's what I was doing. Now, we are staying in a place called Saltburn by the sea, and we found, well, credit to my other half, found a brilliant Airbnb overlooking the coast, right by the coast, like just across the road. You do have to go down a very steep hill to get there, but our first evening we was able to walk along the path and go down to the coast, where there was a classic pub called the Ship Inn. Classic, what you expect food. I had scampi and chips, he had steak and chips, and just what you want. But there's a very nice restaurant, looking restaurant, steak restaurant called Tomahawk there, and there's the Spa Hotel. And then today we had a little explore in the morning of Saltburn itself, and we'd had a few recommendations and things like that, and we actually went to Wrap for breakfast. It was a really good breakfast, and then we had a little wander around some nice charity shops. Some lovely independent bookshop, lots of other nice sort of cafes and places like that. And it is so Victorian. If you are a fan of Victorian architecture, which was something that popped up all along the UK coastline during the Victorian era, Victorian architecture, Victorian era, it was a very popular thing to go to the seaside in the Victorian era in the UK, and you see all these lovely places pop up with like boarding houses, churches that pop up for people to live in, the lovely train stations, and I can spend quite a bit of time admiring the architecture, and there's some gorgeous architecture here, including some of the lovely shop canopies that have still exist outside as you're walking along, which is just a treat for the eyes. And I really enjoy looking down the little alleyways and things like that. So Saltburn has been so far very, very pleasant. It's nice and quiet. The parking is free. It's just very chill. The sun has stayed out now for 2 days. We also took a trip into Guysborough today. I'll put the name on the map. It was only 15 minutes away, and that was great. There were some really good chair shops there, and also my first trip into a boys department store. Nice fabric. We bought something to make a gift for someone. I, again, dear reader, did not buy any fabric for myself, but it was as I hoped it would be, like a classic old school department store. The town itself was very nice. Again, we found free parking at a little slightly outside the town retail park, And then we drove to, and I'm going to say his place name wrong, Maersk by Sea. So then we drove to Maersk by Sea, where we found 4 hours free parking so we could walk down to the beach. We sat and ate our Marks and Spencer's lunch in the car and then walked down to the sea. It's just, that's the kind of day I love. We have other things planned, including another fabric shop that some of you might have heard of. I just love exploring parts of the UK that I haven't been to, finding towns. Always love wandering in a charity shop because you never know what you find. And actually the Age UK one, I think it's Age UK, the quality of what was in there and the way it was laid out was really nice. There's a lot of great vintage clothes in there as well. Would you like to see what I've got so far? Let me go and grab it. So I found a vintage Topshop pleated skirt. Not for me, but for the teenager. Look at this jumper. This was £3.99. And it's just incredibly joyful. And whilst I'm happy to make my own clothes, I just thought it's a great one for sort of like the festive season. And so, yeah, I snapped that up. And also picked up in one of the shops this skirt. Now, rarely do I buy myself actual clothes, but this was a skirt that's from a brand called Dorothy Perkins. It's got an invisible zip down the back. No, it's not, it's a lapped zip. And it is really soft. It feels like a viscose to me. And I just love a polka dot. And it's like a haphazard polka dot. And it's like it's cut on the bias and swooshes out towards the bottom. I think it's Dorothy Perkins. And then I found a sewing shop / craft shop that was shutting down. So I bought a whole reel of elastic, endlessly using it. I bought this elastic and everything that was left on these 3. They're not jumbo, but slightly bigger rip-rack. I just said to her, just give me whatever's left on there. So all of those items I paid £23 for. And as I say, none of that will ever go to waste. And in classic me style, I found some necklaces. Now I found this one, which is more of a natural wood. I don't know if it is wood. It does feel like varnished wood. I just felt it's a bit more of a natural. When I've got a lot of brights on, sometimes I do like more of a natural look necklace. I know, shop fire. And of course, how could I resist this gorgeous green one? So always have a look. This was just like £1 or so, and it was in like their fancy display at the till. So always keep an eye out there. I did find sewing patterns in one shop, and in one of the shops they had the biggest selection of like curtains and tablecloths. I am getting regrets now. I didn't buy anything because I didn't want to carry it around. I didn't know how much longer I was going to be walking around. But I have got regrets now. There was an orange like linen tablecloth and a big check duvet. I might have to pop back. It was only 15 minutes away. I can pop back another day, and if it's meant to be, it will still be there. Anyone guess where we are today? It is another day of adventure. Today we went even further north. So first of all, we went to First for Fabrics. I have bought from them many times online, but it was really nice to go in the shop and have a really good look around. It's really nicely laid out. They've got a really good selection. And I bumped into Dan from the Great British Sewing Bee. So hi to Dan, who was buying some bits for Panto costumes. And yeah, we had a good look around. So I'll show you what I got. So they had a really nice selection of remnants. So I picked up this ribbed jersey, which was 65 centimetres by the full width for £7.70. I thought that would make really nice like vest top or knickers. Picked up a 1 metre remnant of cable knit for £10. I'm wearing one of the K-Winnets right well, so I didn't make one of these, but also I've been making a few like just sort of knit fabric skirts on my stepdaughter, so it would work well for that. But also like a cardigan with another red, so just really useful fabric. And then I found this fabric and had to ask them what it was, and it's actually like a peach skin poly. It's really soft, really smooth. You can't feel the poly in it at all. So I'm going to make another one of the Marilla Walker Anning blouses in this, because I think it'd have a lovely drape to the sleeves, and just I think I might do the ruffled, make my own ruffled collar on it. And I just thought it was a really lovely autumnal colour. This was £5 a metre. So then if you haven't seen my video, which was saw it, sewed it, but did I like it, I actually did a white ribbing top with a striped skirt. I've actually decided to swap it for this ribbing, and can I say the quality of their ribbing is phenomenal. So I've gone for this gorgeous colour. They had a really, really good selection of ribbing there. So it's really nice lifting up. It's really soft as well. And then the rest of my purchases, variegated thread, but not for me. My other half wants me to make him some sweatshirting. If you saw my sewist in Europe, he bought himself some cable ties for some sweatshirts. So we went looking. They didn't have one of the colours he wanted, but we got everything else. So we got this lovely green with the lining in the hood will be this colour, and then the matching ribbing as well. Everything's so soft. So if you know a good man's sweatshirt jumper pattern that has a hood, or a unisex one, please let me know, because I've not done a hood yet. And then this is the hood for the other sweatshirt and the cuffing. And he wants one that's more egg yolk colour than this. So they didn't have it there, but keep looking at it. Had it in a jersey fabric, but not in sweatshirting. Most of the sweatshirting I've got here is the like brushed back French terry, so it's not quite as thick, which is great if you're putting a hood in as well. So I have to say the colours all go beautifully together, I think. So then we went even further north and went through the Tyne Tunnel, which for those who don't know is a tunnel that goes under the River Tyne, and we headed for North Shields, another place I've never been to. North Shields is very lovely, really nice shops to wander around, really nice little bays. The sun was shining again, and we could have spent even longer there, but we went to Riley's Fish Shack, which if you don't know, do head over and have a look at their Instagram. It's right down in King Edward's, I think it's King Edward's Bay. We booked because we booked for bang on 12 when they opened. It got busy really quickly. Their menu changes every day, and it was delicious. I had mackerel and this amazing like side dish that had all sorts of delicious things in. My other half had monk's tail, and just delicious. And also the service was really nice, because when we were trying to choose, we just felt we could ask questions. We got to sit looking out over the beach and the sea. They have deck chairs down on the sand as well, but really, really nice place to spend at lunchtime. We then hopped in the car and drove a bit further along to Whitley Bay, and we sat then on the beach and read our books, and I had an ice cream. Look, you can't go to the beach and not have a Mr. Whippy ice cream. And then we headed back because we didn't want to get stuck in the rush hour traffic in the tunnel. My verdict is I preferred North Shields to Whitley. Whitley was very traditional seaside town. I felt North Shields had more interesting shops to look in and smaller bays. They were a bit more protected from the wind. And of course Riley's Fish Shack. So I would definitely go back to North Shields again, but the whole area was very nice and I really enjoyed just driving around. And I have to say, I thought I was pretty restrained in First of Fabrics. I could have bought many other things. I didn't, but I could have done. I also met Kaylee while I was in First of Fabric. So hi Kaylee. She was really kind, really helpful, and I had messaged her because congratulations to First of Fabrics. They'd hit 15,000 followers on Instagram, and they'd put up an offer for discount. So I messaged her to check I'd be able to use it in store, and she recognised it the second I worked in. So that was really nice. So thank you for that, Kaylee. And it was lovely to meet you and to chat with you as well. It was extremely busy in First Republic when we first we got there as soon as it opened, and it was busy really quickly, and there was a queue at the till. So yeah, if you want to browse, they're really happy to browse. They're happy for you to stack the things you want to buy on a table. They're really kind and friendly. But yeah, it was busy when I was in there. So who knows what tomorrow's going to bring. Well, it's the final day, and today we went to Whitby, which again I've never been to. If you're not aware, Whitby is famous for many things, but for many people for the fact that Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula, visited Whitby and was inspired by Whitby Abbey and the 199 steps, and they are included in the book Dracula, so that makes it very popular for that reason. But also there was Captain Cook Museum. We didn't go in it, but that was there. It is a beautiful town, the way everything's staggered up and all the little narrow alleys. Some really nice gift shops, not all just like the tut that when you go to some places where it's all the same. Some really interesting pieces. Now, one of the things I need to say is if you would like even more details, so for example, I'm going to provide details about where we went that had gluten-free, some more like pictures and inspiration, and some other purchases I've made, then you may well want to go and head over and have a look at my membership, because members will be getting an extras video with lots more details about this trip, including a tour of the Airbnb. As I say, places that we would recommend for gluten-free, some other things, places where I've bought things and what I've liked, extra video of things like the steam train, all that sort of thing. So if you want more, go and have a look. And you can cancel your membership at any time, you can upgrade it, but there's more than just extra videos, because we have monthly get-togethers virtually, and I've done sew along, so yeah, maybe go and have a look. And a gorgeous bookshop, which I always love. But on the way to Whitby, we took a little detour and went to a part of the North Yorkshire Moor railway line, or steam railway line, and we actually caught the train between two stations and went to Gothland, which is the station that was used as Hogsmeade in one of the Harry Potter films. It was a lovely little train ride. You can ride the train all the way to Whitby, and I would say in the summer when it's busy, I would do that. The staff were extremely helpful where we went, and the parking was very reasonable, and they were really sort of helpful if you wasn't sure. And so it's definitely something that I would have said, we just stumbled upon it, but I would say look it up, plan it in. Great way to get into Whitby with avoiding the traffic if you go in the summer, and avoiding having to park. We found parking because of the time of year that it was still busy, but we were able to find parking without too much problems. There is a park and ride, and so that was just a gorgeous end to the trip. We set off tomorrow morning, which is nice. It means we don't have to rush around today. So what would I say, having not been to this part of the country before? I would say I have loved it. We have been blessed by the weather, which always helps, but it's a lovely part. Saltburn has been really lovely. The back massage I went for yesterday, the meal that we've been to at Tom Hawk's, the breakfasts we've had out. We had a breakfast at Spa Hotel, breakfast at Wraps, the accessibility to other places, the lovely beaches, the pier at Saltburn, the funicular. Yeah, it's just a really nice place and part of the world. And having been to like the peak seaside places of like Bournemouth and Devon and Cornwall, I would say that I much prefer it here. It's less like overly touristy. I think a lot of it is better kept. The parking and the facilities are more careful. So easy to find like public toilets. Lots of places have been like renovated, done up. I love where we've stayed because it's been an easy walk of Saltburn town to like Sandy, something from Sainsbury's. Just wandered in. Yesterday had a lovely wander, got these earrings. We've found on our travels through the week little gifts ready for Christmas for people. Yeah, I would definitely return to this part of the world again. Now, everyone, I was only gifted these shoes. I have not been paid to say this, but the star of the show this week has been these boots that I was sent by Vivaya. As you can see, they are still looking incredibly clean. Now, I was a bit worried about owning cream boots, but I have worn them on the beach. I've worn them up and down the beach steps. I've walked the 199 steps up to Whitby Abbey. I have worn them every day bar one of the days, and the other day I wore the sneakerinas. I have not had feet ache once, and on most days I've done more than 10,000 steps each day. Today I've done something like 12 or 13,000. And the other day I stubbed the toe next to my big toe on a metal doorstop, and it's been a bit sore and a bit stiff, but has not hurt once whilst wearing these boots because of the really soft footbed. So I have really absolutely tested these to the max while I've been away, and a sign for me of a good shoe is that no rubbing, don't get sore feet, which is rare. I often on the balls of my feet it gets sore. They have been brilliant, and because of the colour of them, they've gone with everything. And I can't believe, considering I've worn them on multiple beaches, look at the colour they still are. And so I just thought I'd let you know, if you are looking for something that works with lots of different outfits and works at this like cross-seasonal time, but doesn't get your feet too hot, but also copes with like doing different things, these have been a winner. I'm amazed. Well, do let me know, where else do you think I should visit? Where else would you like to see, even if you haven't been there, that you would like to see me take a tour of? I did try to find another fabric shop today, but unfortunately it was closed for lunch. But do let me know any part of the country that you think you've been to that I might enjoy, or that you've seen things about and would love to see it through my lens. Catch you again soon.